So a building consent is a building consent application. You're asking for consent, you're asking for permission. So what that process would look like is you'd have an hour what we call a draftsman. They would draw up a site-specific feasibility plan or a concept plan, pretty little pictures that look awesome. Everything's got to match up to the district plan, and then you submit that along with a whole heap of information. It's like an encyclopedia of information to whichever council. There's a lot of them, between 60 and 70 councils across New Zealand. And what would happen is the person at the council's end would go through all of those documents, typically saying, yes, you can build this on your property. So that's a building consent. That's asking somebody, the council, for permission to build XYZ product. Now, a PIM, which stands for Project Information Memorandum, specific to granny flats, you're not asking for permission. What you're doing is you're filling out a form and you're telling the council what you're going to do. They acknowledge acceptance of that document and they come back to you and they'll tell you whether it's potentially going to be compliant or not. Now that there typically takes about 10 days. And it's just a simple admin process. Building consent, most councils have a KPI of about 23 working days, but it can drag out far longer because there's usually questions along the way. So PIM process is council giving you information about your property, and then you decide whether you move forward or not. So very, very simple, very straightforward, fixed cost, no inspections, and then the customer just gets on with it, which is what the granny flat process looks like. Now, of course, there's still costs, there's still fees, which is unavoidable, but from our point of view, the timing is far quicker.